And welcome back to News Center 1 today. Well, as we mentioned earlier this week, Governor Dennis Daugaard has proclaimed this week as Suicide Prevention Week in South Dakota, and today marks National World Suicide Prevention Day. I spoke with some local advocates who fight against this preventable act. Suicide, a cringeworthy word that nobody wants to hear, and an action that is not often addressed until it's too late. The fact is that suicide rates for youth and young adults in South Dakota is 2.5 times higher than that of the national average, so awareness and prevention is gravely needed. Advocates of suicide prevention advice is to take 5 to save a life and ask the tough questions to someone you think may be in turmoil.
Really, one of the biggest things that we teach people is how to sit and listen to somebody when they tell you that they have thoughts of suicide. We hear that. We want to go, oh my gosh, we got to fix this right now and you got to stop this. You can't tell somebody that they got to stop it. They can't. It's just like any other mental health problem.
Numerous factors play into the act of suicide, including mental health issues and addiction. But if loved ones are showing red flag signs of suicide, early action is recommended.
You can't be passive aggressive with that question, and you can't just tiptoe around it. You have to be upfront about it, because like I said, if somebody really comes up to you and says that question, you're thinking about suicide, you want to end your life, it may be the first time that anybody's ever said that to someone. That relief is there for that individual, that somebody cares enough to ask, is confident enough to ask, and again is not asking it in a judgmental way.
There are resources in our community that offer prevention as well as support by those affected. Loss volunteers comfort those who have lost loved ones and also help with follow-up care. 5.5 years ago, Vicki became affected by suicide when her son took his own life. She takes up the opportunity now to help others.
And I know that when I went through my experience, you're pretty lost and adrift, and you can't think. You're in a very muddled state. So oftentimes when law enforcement come to a suicide scene, they can't stay there very long. And the people who are left behind are quite vulnerable and very much in need. So we're there to provide that support after law enforcement has to go. And then we provide many resources for them to reach out to.
Locally, the Front Porch Coalition is dedicated to helping those people who have tragically lost someone to suicide and working to reduce the incident of suicide within our community through education, awareness, and prevention services. Suicides are considered preventable when suicidal behaviors are detected early and individuals are referred to services and supports.
One of the main things that the Front Porch Coalition is that suicide is the #1 preventable cause of death. With a few simple tools, anyone can make a difference for someone that's struggling. It's reaching out a hand, it's holding somebody up, it's throwing them a lifeline.
And the number is there to call if you know of somebody in trouble at 1-800-273-TALK. And Front Porch is holding a Survivors of Suicide Day this Saturday from 10 to 2 at the First Congressional UCC Church on Clark Street. Head to our Facebook page for a link on more information. You're watching News Center 1 today, and we'll be right back.